There is a verse in the book of Hosea that many people never stop long enough to feel. It sits inside a hard chapter, a painful chapter, a chapter about failure, unfaithfulness, discipline, and a broken relationship between God and his people. But right in the middle of that pain, God says something so tender it almost shocks you. Hosea 2:15 says, "I will give her vineyards from there, and the Valley of Achor as a door of hope." Listen to that again. The Valley of Achor as a door of hope. That line is a hidden treasure, because Achor means trouble. So God is saying, I will take the valley of trouble and turn it into a door of hope. Not a wall, not a grave, not the end, a door. That is the kind of verse you do not rush past. Because every life has a Valley of Achor, a place where something went wrong, a place tied to regret, a place where pain has a name, a place you do not like to revisit because it reminds you of what you lost, what you did, what broke, or what you cannot undo. For Israel, Achor was not just a word, it was a memory. Back in Joshua 7, Israel had just entered the promised land. They were supposed to be moving forward with victory, but one man, Achan, secretly took what God told the people not to touch. Because of that hidden sin, Israel was defeated at Ai. People died, shame entered the camp, judgment came, and that place became known as the Valley of Achor, the Valley of Trouble. So when God mentions Achor in Hosea, he is not speaking about a random valley. He is touching an old wound. He is naming a place connected to failure. He is pointing to a memory Israel would rather forget, and that is what makes this verse so powerful. God does not say, pretend Achor never happened. He does not say, cover it up. He does not say, erase the story. He says, I will turn it into a door of hope. That means God is not afraid of the places in your life that carry trouble. You may be afraid of them, you may avoid them, you may bury them under work, laughter, busyness, or religious language. But God can walk straight into the valley you have been avoiding and say, this place can still become a doorway. That is not cheap encouragement. That is redemption. Redemption does not mean the pain was good. It means God is greater than the pain. Redemption does not mean the failure did not matter. It means failure does not get the final word. Redemption does not mean the valley disappears. It means the valley changes meaning, and some of us need that badly. Because we have been treating certain places in our story like locked rooms, the divorce, the mistake, the addiction, the betrayal, the season when you drifted from God, the words you wish you could take back, the grief you still do not know how to carry, the dream that died quietly while everyone else kept moving. You call it trouble. God says, I can make it a door. Now look carefully at the beginning of the verse. God says, I will give her vineyards from there, not after there, not far away from there, from there. That means the fruit comes from the same place that looked barren. The place of pain becomes the place of new growth. The place of shame becomes the place of restored joy. The place of loss becomes the soil where something living begins again. That is not how we think. We usually think God must bless us somewhere else. We say, Lord, just get me out of this place. Take me away from this memory. Give me a new story far from this pain. And sometimes God does lead us out, but sometimes he does something deeper. He says, I am going to bring fruit from there, from the place you thought was ruined, from the season you thought was wasted, from the wound you thought only proved you were broken, from there. This is why God's healing is different from human escape. Escape wants distance. Healing brings transformation. Escape says, never look at it again. Healing says, look again, but this time, look with me. Because when God enters the valley cannot stay the same. Think about a house after a fire. At first, all you see is smoke damage, ashes, broken beams, and the smell of loss. But then someone comes in with skill, patience, and tools. They do not deny the fire happened. They rebuild from what remains. They restore what can be restored. They strengthen what was weak. And one day, the same address that held ashes holds laughter again. That is what God does with Achor. He does not lie about the trouble. He transforms the place. This verse also teaches us something important about hope. Hope is not always a feeling. Hope is often a door. A door is not the whole house. A door is not the full future. A door is an opening. It means there is more than this. It means you are not trapped. It means the valley is not your permanent address. Some people are waiting for God to give them the whole picture before they move, but sometimes God gives you a door, a small opening, a little courage, a first prayer, a truthful conversation, a clean decision, a moment where you say, I cannot stay like this anymore. That is hope, not fireworks, a door. And if God opens a door in the valley, you do not need to understand the whole road yet. You just need to step through. But here's the part we must not miss. God is the one speaking in this verse. I will give, I will make, I will turn. This is not self-help. This is not Israel fixing itself. This is not people trying harder to turn shame into purpose. This is the mercy of God moving toward people who could not repair the damage on their own. That should humble us, and it should comfort us, because some valleys are too deep for human strength. Some memories cannot be healed by motivation. Some regret cannot be cleaned by good intentions. Some wounds need more than time. They need God. And Hosea shows us a God who does not just stand far away and shout instructions. He comes close. He speaks tenderly. He restores vineyards. He opens doors in valleys. That is the heart of this verse. God can meet you in the place called trouble and make it the place where hope begins again. So maybe the question is not, do I have a Valley of Achor? You do. We all do. The real question is, will I let God touch it? Will I stop pretending it does not hurt? Will I stop calling myself what the valley called me? Will I stop living like trouble is the final name over my life? Because God has another name for that place. Door of hope. And once you see that, desire starts to rise in you. Not just desire to feel better, desire to be restored, desire to stop running from your own story, desire to let God bring fruit from the very place you thought was dead, desire to become someone who can say, that valley hurt me, but it did not own me. God met me there. God changed me there. God opened a door there. That is what this verse offers. Not a life without trouble, a God who can enter trouble and turn it toward hope. So do not throw away the valley yet. Do not crown your pain as king. Do not let shame write the last sentence. Bring God the place you have been hiding. Bring him the name of the valley. Bring him the memory. Bring him the trouble, and watch what mercy can do. Because the God of Hosea still knows how to turn the Valley of Achor into a door of hope.